Many of you may remember that he successfully defended Casey Anthony. Good morning, Mr. Bias. Thanks for joining us today. Your client chose not to participate in that reenactment yesterday. What are you hearing from police about their findings?
Well, we're against the reconstruction of the event, as they call it. I don't think there's any way of jumping into a time machine and going back and replicating exactly what occurred on that day. So, especially since the Solicitor General has come out and stated that they're doing this in order to shoot holes into his story. So we've been against that from the start.
You've been against it, and you did choose not to participate. But why did you choose to take this case in the first place? Are you convinced Gary Giordano is innocent?
Absolutely. You know, this case, what's very unfortunate about this case are the political pressures due to the Natalie Holloway case that, unfortunately, Gary Giordano is now paying for. He had nothing to do with Ms. Holloway's disappearance. However, he's having to feel the after effects of the fact that the Arubian police and the prosecutor's office botched that case.
They botched it. What kind of evidence have the Arubian police shared with you in this case?
Well, what we have so far are just the general statements made by various witnesses. Gary has given a total of 16 different statements to law enforcement. I don't know how many different ways he can be asked certain questions, but they've asked him in various different ways, and he's answered them, given the same answers each and every time.
You know, the fact that sticks out to so many of us who are watching this case is that the fact that Gary Giordano took out a life insurance policy on Robin Gardner and tried to cash it in just after she disappeared. That raises a whole lot of questions, as you know. But you said for the first time yesterday, I had not heard this before, that Robin Gardner also took out a life insurance policy on Giordano. Is that true?
Correct. What these are, they're not life insurance policies. They've been labeled as life insurance policies. What they are basically are travel insurance. Every time Mr. Giordano has traveled this year, whether it's been with Robin Gardner or with other individuals, he in fact had another companion that he traveled with and got the same travel insurance on. So what this covers is medical, dental, car rental, and a whole slew of other things, including accidental death.
But now, you're saying on this trip she also took out a life insurance policy or a travel insurance policy on him?
Yes, the two of them had policies on each other. Now, of course, since Gary was paying for the trip, Gary was the beneficiary of Robin's policy. And
okay, that explains. So he was going to get the benefits either. Well, that's
correct. So let's say something happened with the car rent, with his rental car. He would have, since he was paying for the trip, he would have to get the payout for the claim. So that's why both of them had insurance on each other.
Okay, the next hearing is set for the end of October. Are you confident the Aruban authorities are going to have to set Gary Giordano free?
You know, at this point, we're not certain about anything. Unfortunately, very little is coming out of the prosecution camp. All we know is that there is no evidence, and everything that keeps getting turned over to the defense is quite, it's all smoke, no fire.
Okay, Jose Bias, thanks very much for your time this morning.